Hi there, thank you so much for joining me today. This video is going to be a haul. It is all the makeup I have purchased in the last couple of months, so it's more of a cumulative, I have so much trouble saying that word. I think it's cumulative haul, where I talk about everything I bought, mainly during the Memorial Day sales. There was a ton of really great sales, and so I thought I'd take full advantage of that. Unfortunately, I was in the middle of a low buy, so this basically means that my low buy is dead. And my low buy was always dead. It never really worked. For those of you who don't know, I did a 1-year no buy last year where I didn't buy any makeup. And then for this past January, I decided to just, buy whatever I wanted, stuff that I'd been lusting after for the year and stuff that I just really wanted to replenish in my collection. I do have that haul, my first haul after 1 year. It was basically everything I wanted during that 1-year no buy, and I gave you reviews on everything. So if you want to see that, I will link that in the cards. This low buy was supposed to start in February and end at the end of July, and it was supposed to be like a 6-month low buy. I didn't spend over $75 a month just to kind of keep myself from going overboard and buying a ton of new makeup when I still had tons of makeup already in my collection. Unfortunately, that didn't go well. I still continued to buy makeup, and I have it all tracked, and I basically went over that $75 limit every month. About halfway through the low buy, I realized it wasn't going well. It wasn't something that I was able to follow, and I felt like there were a lot of outside factors that were affecting my spending habits that didn't have really anything to do with makeup. And so I did a video recently, a couple months back, where I talked about why my 1-year makeup no buy went really well, but my 6-month low buy, where I could still buy some makeup, just not all of it, went so poorly. So I talked about like why I was in different places in my life at the time. Maybe you can watch that and share some of your experiences. Maybe we have some things in common, or maybe it'll just make you think about some other outside factors that affect spending habits in general. So I will also link that one in the cards. 99.9% of what I purchased was at a very discounted rate, which is why I bought all of it at once. Normally I try to spread it out, kind of keep that delayed gratification instead of buying it all at once, and every single thing that I bought was at a very discounted rate. So I thought what would be a fun thing to do is I have the total of all of the products if I had purchased them at full retail price, and then I have the actual amount that I paid for everything, and that way I can give you an idea of like how much free makeup I got, I guess, if you could look at it that way. Everything except for maybe 2 products I don't have a full review to give. I don't feel like I've used them enough to give that, but I do plan on having a review specifically on those products, an entire video dedicated to them coming in the future, so stay tuned. I'm going to get started with eyeshadows because I think that's the most fun for me. I bought a ton of eyeshadow palettes. I basically doubled my eyeshadow palette collection within the course of a month, which is not very like me, but keep in mind that I only had like 3 or 4 palettes to begin with. I'm going to start with single shadows. I have really been playing around with buying new single shadows this year, and I do have a couple that I purchased from ColourPop. You can see there's a color theme, a color family. I've really been into purples lately. Okay, so the 4 shades from ColourPop are Howlin', Double Date, Glass Bull, and 143, and this is what it looks like swatched on my hand. So Howlin' is a really pretty matte, kind of cool toned lavender shade. Definitely a big fan of that. I love using it in the crease or on the lower lash line, especially just when I want to wear like a purple but I don't want it to be too loud. This is a great shade for that. This next one, Double Date, is really pretty too. I guess you would consider it more of like a neutral purple, I guess. It's not overtly cool or warm. It has a little bit of a shine to it. Really great for all over the lid. Really enjoy that shade. This next one though, Glass Bull, it's a little bit disappointing. It does have that really nice kind of duochrome to it, a little bit of like a blue shift. It reminds me a lot of Oil Slick from Butter London, except for I much prefer that shade, and so I do have a video where I use that all over the lid. I really like how it turns out. I much prefer the formula and the color payoff for that shadow. So if you were like between the 2 shades, I would definitely recommend investing in Oil Slick. I just think it's a better performing shade in general. It is a liquid shadow, which takes a little bit of getting used to, but I definitely think it's worth it. So this one's just okay. I don't use it as often. And this very last one is 143 by ColourPop. I don't want to say it's the same shade as Lady Ship from Queen of Hearts. They definitely have different undertones, but when it comes to formula and when it comes to having a deeper purple matte shade, I much prefer 143. If I'm trying to deepen up the crease or just add a little bit more of like a purpley tint to an eye look, I'm definitely going to reach for 143. I have a side-by-side swatch comparison of these 2 shades in my Queen of Hearts 5 Looks 1 palette video. In general, I do like it. I like the purpley theme. Glass Bull's a little bit disappointing, but it's not so bad that I have to get rid of it. I'll still continue to use it just on days where I don't need like as much of like a pow. The next eyeshadow palette is from Colored Raine. It's the Queen of Hearts palette. I finally bit the bullet and got it. It was on sale for $15 off during the Memorial Day sale, so this was like my chance to really jump on that sale. And I love it. Definitely not like an everyday eyeshadow palette for me. It's really for when I'm going for like more colorful looks. But I do really enjoy this palette. I did an entire video dedicated to this palette. I did 5 looks with the eyeshadows where I used every single eyeshadow at least once. I swatch each of the shades. I talk about potential dupes and similar shades you might already have in your collection. I really get thorough about how much I love this palette and why in that video, and I do really enjoy it. If you can find this on sale again, I definitely recommend trying it if you like oranges and purples. I love oranges and purples, so this palette is perfect for me. I really do love the pigmentation and the performance of most of the shades, not every single shade, and I'm glad to have it in my collection. The next eyeshadow palette is the Tartelette In Bloom Palette. This is what I'm currently using in my 5 looks 1 palette video that will be coming up at the end of the month. I'm wearing it on my eyes today. The main shadow that I'm wearing is Rocker here, which is kind of like a taupey shade. I love the colors in here. There's some cool tones, some neutral, some more pinky warm tones. I really do like the color layout. The only thing I don't love is that there's 3 super dark shades right here. I understand they all have slightly different undertones. Like this one here is more burgundy reddish, this one's more of like a chocolate, and this one's more of like a cool tone gray brown. But for someone like me, I don't know if I need all 3 of these. I don't think I'm going to reach for all 3 of them. They kind of do the same thing for me on whenever I use them in looks, so it's not like I need all 3 specifically, but even so, I think it's a good palette and I really like that it smells like chocolate. The next 2 eyeshadow palettes I want to talk about are the Milani palettes. These were on sale for like $6 off each, so I thought I would really jump on that sale. These are the 2 products that I don't feel comfortable giving like a full review yet, as I've only used them a handful of times together. They are really pretty though. Let me show you up close. This one is the Most Loved Mattes. Obviously it's split into 3 categories. This one's more like a cool neutral, this one's more purpley, and this one's more orange warm. Really do love that it's separated into 3 different undertones like that. Definitely something I can see myself using a lot with other palettes and, you know, if for traveling and stuff. But I haven't used it enough to really give you a thorough review, but I promise I will do a 5 looks 1 palette featuring both of these palettes. I think I might put them into one video so that I'm doing both palettes at once. I just don't want to recommend you trying it if I haven't used it enough to really form a full opinion yet. And this one here is Bold Obsessions. Really do like it, and I like that this gold is wearable for someone like me. Sometimes golds can be hard to pull off. I just really like this palette a lot. I think the only shade I'm really not going to use a ton is this bluish gray shade right here. I don't know. I'll try to incorporate it in a look, but I don't know if that's going to be something that I gravitate towards very often, but still really love these palettes. I think they're really great quality for a drugstore, especially considering I paid $14 for each of these, so that's just over $1 per shade. Really great deal. I have 2 more eyeshadows, and they're liquid ones. They're the Glitter and Glows from Stila. This one is in Diamond Dust, and this one's in Sea Siren. I love these. I definitely love Sea Siren a lot more just because it's got that purpley blue look to it. Really love these. Let me show you a swatch. There is a little bit of a stain from the other single shadows that I swatched on my hand earlier. Just ignore those. This bottom one is Sea Siren. It's got that duochrome pinky purple light blue type of shift to it. It's gorgeous. And then this top one is Diamond Dust. It has both elements of silver and gold in it, so it's really great to pair with different looks. I love both of these. I think for someone who wears contacts, it can be a little difficult to keep the glitters from falling into your eyes. It doesn't hurt, it's just something you can kind of see on like the outer perimeter of your eye. I think it's just one of those things where you wear glittery shadows with contacts, it just happens. I will continue to use these. Maybe I'll try to find a really good glitter glue to pair with these because I don't own anything like that. I was just using regular eyeshadow primer. Regardless, I'm still going to use them even if they do have a little bit of fallout into my eyes. I love them that much. I think they're gorgeous. And I was able to get these at a really good price as well. Alright, eyeshadows are out of the way. Now to talk about some setting sprays. I'm not going to get into too much detail. This first one is the Scandinavia Bridal Spray. I really do love this a lot. This was 25% off, and I think there was an additional sale on top of it. And it is cheaper if you get the 8 ounce, so I think it came out to being like under $30 for 8 ounces, which is a really great deal. I do love this, and it's something that I've repurchased before. This next one is the Milani Make It Last setting spray. I do like this, not as much as the Urban Decay ones. I was out of town for about 5 weeks during May and June, and so I only had like a small Target near me. I didn't really have a lot of options, so I just grabbed this because I accidentally used up the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray that I had brought with me. I didn't realize I was almost finished with it, so I grabbed this one. I don't think it's as good as the Urban Decay All Nighter and the Scandinavia Bridal Spray. I do like it. It is a little bit more of like a perfumey scent, which if that bothers you, I don't think you should try it. The mist on this is beautiful though. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see. I don't know if you can see, but it is beautiful. I will definitely be reusing this bottle for setting sprays in the future, but it is very perfumey. It like definitely has a scent to it. This one does leave a little bit of a glow on your skin. It doesn't like mattify your skin at all. It's not the dewy version, it's the Make It Last version. So it is something where once I spray it on, I do kind of powder my T-zone just so I don't get too glowy. I don't want to have glow all over my face, especially in the summer. Something I can see myself using up, but probably something I wouldn't repurchase. And the next one is the Ulta Beauty Rose Water Setting Spray. It has a matte finish, it's SPF 50, and it's water resistant for 80 minutes. I purchased this while I was in Miami because I kind of wanted something to touch up my face throughout the day if we were going to be outside all day. I don't love this enough to repurchase it. It has a very, very strong scent. It smells like bug spray. It has a little thing in there, so when you shake it up, you can kind of hear it mixing around. This is infinitely better than the Coola setting spray. I hated that. That would leave such a weird film, like a silicone-y film on my face. This one doesn't do that nearly as badly. It is something that you have to be super careful about spraying near your eyes though, because it will sting them. So make sure your eyes are really, really tightly closed when you spray it, and then let it perfectly dry. Let it dry for like an entire minute before you open your eyes again. I did like it. I don't know how much more protection it gives me given that it is a spray. So if you're looking for an SPF facial spray, I would definitely recommend trying it, but just be aware that it's very heavily scented. It can sting your eyes if you're not careful, and I don't know how much extra SPF it's going to provide you. Let's move on to some complexion products. I have a foundation and 2 concealers. The first one is a foundation from Cover FX. It's the Natural Finish Foundation. This was like half off on Ulta's website, and I really have been curious to try this, especially considering they have such a great shade range. I purchased the shade N10, and it's actually a really great shade match for me. I do really like how this matches my skin. It might be like the tiniest bit too pale, but I am the type of person who puts on a lot of bronzer afterwards, so it doesn't really matter. If you need your foundation to stay all day for like 12 plus hours, I wouldn't recommend this one, but I do think it sits nicely on the skin. It doesn't look cakey. It has like a medium coverage. It's not full coverage, it's not super light coverage, it's kind of right in the middle. I like applying this both with my fingers and with a sponge. Definitely recommend trying it if you are looking for something with medium coverage that's gonna look a little bit more like your skin and you need something with a really good shade range. I would definitely recommend trying it. I like that it's in a squeezy tube. I like that packaging. It makes me feel like I can get everything out of there, and I've been liking it so far. The 2 concealers I bought, one is from ColourPop and the other one is from Makeup Revolution. In Makeup Revolution, I got the shade C1. I swatched this in the store and I thought it would be a good match, but once I brought it home, it ended up being way too light. If you can see that, it's like white compared to my under eyes. I did buy a deeper shade. I have that in my makeup kit right now for a friend of mine. I'm doing her wedding makeup later this month. I do have that one sanitized. I haven't used it on my face yet, but I do mix that one and this one together like on a palette so that everything's nice and sanitized for the bride. And I do love them together. I think it's very similar to the Tarte Shape Tape, but it's not nearly as drying. So if you're looking for the type of coverage that Tarte Shape Tape offers, but you want something that's not going to look as cakey or dry under the eyes, I would recommend trying the Makeup Revolution ones. I think they're good, and once I get my right shade, I think I'm going to love this a lot more. Same with the ColourPop Under Eye Concealer. I do really like this concealer. Unfortunately, I bought too light of a shade. I don't know what I was doing when I was buying this online. I wish I could try these on in store. I wish I could swatch them out and find my shade in store. I do like this. I don't think it's as full coverage as the Makeup Revolution one, but I do still think it's good enough coverage for someone like me who has dark circles, has a vein, and again, once I find my actual shade, I think this will be something that I use a lot more. For now, I use it kind of like to lighten foundations and to lighten other concealers that I have. I have one eye product. It's the Milani Stay Put Waterproof Eyeliner in the shade Hooked on Espresso. So it's not a complete black, it's more of like a very dark brown. This one still transfers to my lower lash line. I was told to try this because it's really good at staying put. And I think if I just had it on my upper lash line, I would think it would do the job. But when I put it in my inner lash line, kind of like my waterline up top, it does transfer to the bottom a little bit. It's fine. It's very creamy and pigmented, which I really love. I will continue to use it up. I don't think I would repurchase it though. I have two highlighters here. These were both featured in my most recent favorite video. I love pinky highlighters. The first one is by Laura Geller. It's in the shade Charming Pink. This is actually the one that I'm wearing today. I put on a little bit and then I did kind of powder my face right before filming, so I don't know if you're getting like the full effect. This is something that you can kind of buff in and get a really nice subtle glow, but if you really wanted to like make it intense, you could. I have the same highlighter in the shade Peach Glow, which is more peachy. I bought that a long time ago and I loved it so much that I thought I could buy a different shade. I really love this a lot. I think it's a beautiful pinky highlight. And same with Wet n Wild's Blossom Glow. I finally bought it. I talked about it in my products that are tempting my low buy video that I put up a couple months back, and I'm so glad I finally bought it. I've only had it for a couple months and I'm already starting to wear away at the flower pattern on the pan. It's a little bit different from Charming Pink in the sense that it has a little bit more of like a duochrome effect to it instead of just being like a straight up pink highlight. I swatched this and Ofra's Pillow Talk. I swatched all three of them together in that favorites video that I mentioned earlier, so if you'd like to see them all together, that's where you can find them. I do really enjoy both of these. I like having them for different reasons. I think they're just different enough to justify having both, but I don't think you need to go out and buy both. And the last category is lip products. I have 7 lip products to share with you, so I'll try to go through them quickly. The first duo I want to talk about is the one I'm wearing today. It's a combination of e.l.f.'s Gotta Go Lip Tint and the Catrice Volumizing Lip Balm. I love wearing these together, putting the e.l.f. one on first because it adds a little bit of a tint to my lips, and then the Volumizing Lip Balm on top kind of gives me the moisture and lightens up my lips a little bit to make it more of like a milky popsicle pink. It's very moisturizing and really great for the summer. Just a little heads up though, don't leave your Catrice lip balm in the car because it will melt almost instantaneously and make a big mess, but I'm still going to use it because I love it that much. 2 more lip balms. The first one is the Kopari Lip Glossy. This is just a clear lip balm. If you put on a little bit, it's balmy. If you put on a lot, it turns into more of a gloss. Really moisturizing and nice. I like that it smells very sweet, but it doesn't taste like anything, so it doesn't gross me out. It's $12 on Ulta's website, and I really enjoy it. I definitely recommend trying this if you're in the market for a new lip balm. And the next one is the Essence Kiss the Frog lipstick. This is a lip balm that is green, and then once you apply it, it turns into like a purpley pink on your hand. Really pretty. Definitely reminds me a lot of the Frog Prince lipstick from Lipstick Queen. I own both of them and I don't think that they're exact dupes just because the formula is a little bit different, and I think the color is a little bit different too. I like it. It's not the most moisturizing formula in the world. There are a couple other lip balms from this Essence line that have like the color changing properties, and I'm kind of curious to try them because they are only like $3, so they're kind of just like fun to try. And the last 3 products I want to talk about are liquid lipsticks. This first one is Cotton Candy by Colored Raine. One of them is the My Little Pony and ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in the shade Lemon Drop. It's kind of like a warmer purple. And the other one is more of a cooler purple, more like a lavender. This is from ColourPop. It's the Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Fluke. And I have swatches on my arm to share. So if you can see, this is Cotton Candy by Colored Raine. It's kind of like a metallic look. Very pretty. I wore this in one of my videos recently and I got a lot of compliments. This middle one is the Cool Tone Purple. This is Fluke by ColourPop, and this one is Lemon Drop by ColourPop. They're all really pretty purple shades and I wear them for different reasons. However, the ColourPop ones are very drying. The Colored Raine one is very comfortable. I do like that formula a lot, but the ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip and Ultra Matte Lip are not the most comfortable liquid lipsticks that I've tried. But I do really love the colors. You guys know I love a purple lip, and so I will continue to wear all 3 of these. I have swatches everywhere. If you were to total all the full prices for each of these products that I bought, you would get a whopping total of $404 worth of makeup, which is a lot to be spending just within the course of a couple months for someone like me who doesn't really have that in their budget. However, because I got all of them for like a pretty steep discount, for everything I just talked about today, I only paid $278. So I got about $126 worth of free makeup, and that means I saved a total of 30% off everything that I paid for, which I think is really great. I mean, these are all products that I've been wanting to try for a long time. I might as well get them when they're on discount. I haven't done any big purchases since that big haul. I don't plan on doing any more anytime soon. This is only my 2nd or 3rd haul of the year so far, so it's not like I do these types of things every month. I love everything I bought. I don't feel bad about it, and I'm really glad I got such a great discount. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was just like a fun way to get a bunch of reviews on new makeup out there. Let me know if you've purchased anything recently that you love and you can't live without, or if you've purchased anything recently and was kind of a letdown for you. Let me know in the comments below. I'd be really interested to see what you guys have been trying lately. But in the meantime, that's everything I have. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys!